Okay, so yeah, we need the ball today and hand weights. The first exercise we're going to go into is rowing. So we'll go into our forward bend with our hand weights. So we want to be able to pull those shoulder blades together in the back. Exhale, pull together. Inhale, let out. Let those shoulder blades move. Here we go. Ten more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Next one, we're going to go into a combination. It's a bicep curl, overhead press, and then tricep behind the head. And then you just reverse it back down. Keep those abs on. Begin. Good. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Good. All right, next we're going to go into our teaser position. So from here, we're going to scoop it out. Abs are on. They're going to do the majority of the work to relax and just pin down those feet. We're going to go into this backstroke. So it creates some rotation and extra leaning back. So you should feel how those abs are very much engaged. Stay slow and in control. Continue to breathe. Try not to grip into your legs. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Okay, next let's go back to our rowing. So working into that upper back, back side of the arms, forward bend, abs are on, looking down at the ground, begin. Pull those shoulder blades together, move those shoulders back, then let them out. Back, let them out. Consciously squeezing those shoulder blades together in the back. We want that movement in that upper back to keep a healthy, mobile back so it doesn't get stuck and rounded and hunched. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Back into our combo. We're going to bicep curl, overhead press, back behind the head, up, down, down. Here we go. Keep those abs tight. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's move into abs. Scooping it out. All of those abs right here doing the work. Inhale, open, exhale. Inhale, open, exhale. Keep those abs very strong. You can lean back and make this as big as you'd like. That will definitely get those abs more challenged. And I'm kind of just looking to the side that I'm opening up with. So that's going to help with that rotation skill. Get into those obliques. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job. All right, take a water break. That's the end of round 2. Okay. All right, so let's come back to rowing. So we'll grab our hand weights. All right, abs are on. Begin. Just getting a breathing rhythm going. Exhale on the pull. Inhale on the let down. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. More arms. Bicep curl. Overhead press. Triceps back behind the head. Keep that tall posture, especially as those weights go back behind the head. Here we go. And appropriate weight so we're not straining anything. We're not straining the shoulders or the elbows, but getting some good work through all those arm muscles. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. We'll come back down to the floor and moving into abs. So I call it the backstroke. We're just kind of slowly opening up to one side and then we'll take it to the other side. So scoop it out, keep the work here in the core, and begin when you're ready. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Good. Okay, we're going to move into something new. So this is going to be a side lunge to a curtsy lunge. So just making sure that you're just taking care of your knees. You can always just turn this into a single leg bridge or just kind of cut out that curtsy if that tends to pull on the knee. So let me show a few demonstrations. One leg is going to be planted the whole time. The other leg is going to lunge to the side, and then we just kind of sweep it back behind. Go back out to the lunge to the side, sweep it behind. Okay, here we go. Down on the heel in that side lunge, you'll be up on the toe for the curtsy lunge. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we switch. So I'm planting the other leg. Here we go. Side lunge to curtsy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, let's grab our hand weights again. We're going to go back into triceps. Moving into our forward bend again, and we're going to keep those arms straight, pump back, still kind of pull those shoulder blades together, slowly release back down. Here we go. Back, slowly come back down. Moving slow both directions is going to keep those triceps activated. And 2, 1, and rest. Moving into abs, we're going to move into plank. So level 1 is just regular plank. We'll hold it for 30 seconds. Level 2, we're going to do some knee taps. So let me demonstrate what that looks like. I'm going to tap my left knee, then my right knee, and then both knees. So notice that my hips are not moving in space, and my feet stay attached to the floor. Okay, so we're not going to bounce the hips around. We're not going to detach the feet from the floor. Otherwise, just hold regular plank if that's going to be a better fit. Ready? Begin. Keep breathing. Moving slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Nice job. All right, let's go back to our side lunge to curtsy lunge. We're going to raise the heart rate again using those major muscle groups of the legs. It's one stationary leg, the other one's moving. Ready? Begin. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we'll switch. Plant the other leg. Begin. Keeping a rhythm with your breathing. Keep those knees happy. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Transitioning to arms, we'll grab our weights. So we're focusing on the triceps, the backs of the arms, and try to get those shoulder blades pulling together in the back. So open chest. And begin. Straight arms, slow both directions. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And back to abs. Plank. Or you can add the pattern of the knee tap. So left knee taps, right knee taps, both knees tap. In 3, 2, 1, we're on. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Let's take a breather if you need it, water if you need it. We'll come back for a third round. Okay, ready. All right, starting with one leg pinned down and side lunge. Here we go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we switch. Begin. And 3, 2, 1. Very good. Pick up those weights. Roll the shoulders open and down. Hinge. Here we go. Keeping those arms straight. Move slow. Good pinch at the top. Get those shoulder blades pulling together. Feel those back muscles kick in. Ten seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Good. Last one of the sequence is plank. Continue to add those knee tucks if that's a good challenge for you, making sure this does not turn into back work. Ready and begin. Just moving slow, staying in control if you're doing those knee taps. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nicely done. All right, take a breather, and then our next set we will be using our ball. I'll take a second to demonstrate with the ball because it does take just a moment to kind of learn how to set up on it, but it's important that it's all working together so you're not fighting the ball, but it actually kind of just moves smoothly with the exercise. All right, so what I think is a good idea is just stay close to the wall so that you can catch your balance at any time, because sometimes that ball will get stuck under your foot and your reaction time is just not as quick. So I'm going to put my right shin on top of the ball. So my knees are in line right here. I can just gently just leave my shin on the ball, and I feel like it's going to stay underneath that leg. I'm going to then start to hinge. So from that hinge, I'm also going to extend the leg, and that ball kind of rolls underneath my knee naturally. And then I'm going to stand back up. My knees come in line with each other, and that ball is back underneath my shin. So that's ultimately what I'd like. If that ball starts to inch up the leg too much, then let's place it underneath more like the top of the foot, ankle area, and that way it won't like come up all the way up the thigh. So just that little slight change can make a difference for you on how comfortable this is. But ultimately we are working this stabilizing leg, the balancing leg. So notice that I do bend the knee a little bit as I get my hips back. Very important that the hips go back, and I stand up and I lock in and I keep this foot grounded for balance. All right, and remember you can hold on the whole time also if it helps clean up your form. All right, ready? Begin. So it's not a whole lot of weight on that ball. It's just kind of gliding with that foot, with that leg. 2, 1, and switch over. So same setup, that light touch on top of the ball, and begin. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, good. Let's come down to the floor with your ball. Moving into abs, we're going to do the dead bug. So this is a fairly advanced ab exercise. It's very important we keep that low back on the floor. Abs are doing their job. They're responding to the work that we're creating for them. So we're going to take those legs into tabletop. Hands are at one end and the knees are holding it on the other end. And we're going to take opposite arm and leg away from each other. So right arm, left leg is going to open out and we come back. Now the other side, left arm, right leg, open out, come back to the ball. So we're just going to move very slowly here. Again, remember that those abs are working. They're pinning that low back to the floor. You can make this as small or as big as you'd like. Bigger is a little bit harder. So the lower the hand and the foot get to the floor, the harder it's going to be. And there's a lot to think about here, but don't relax those abs. Those abs must stay on and working. Relax your neck though. Keep breathing. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, more abs. We're going to go into plank on the ball. And so the ball is unstable, so you can push it up against a wall or a piece of furniture to kind of help stabilize it. Otherwise, if you really want the challenge, it's going to stay just kind of like free in your room. And put those forearms on top, curl those toes under, wide stance, and we go into plank. A modification would be to stay on the knees. So another modification, if you're not going to push the ball up against something, would just be stay on your knees and really focus on the pelvic tuck here, and that ball kind of just lengthens away from you a little bit more for the challenge. All right, ready? And begin. Here for 30 seconds, working with the challenge of the ball, making sure your chest is not laying on the ball. Sometimes I see that sometimes. Ten seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Good job. Way to come back up too to finish out the 30 seconds. Okay, let's go back to our single leg deadlift. We're using the ball, just kind of changing that up. It's also okay to ditch the ball, just single leg deadlift on its own. Single leg deadlift on its own would look like this. But when we're adding the ball, we're kind of moving it along with us. All right, begin when you're ready. So kind of just think of pushing that ball away from me. That helps me get my hips back. Like I'm trying to lengthen with my ball to the back. If it feels like that ball is kind of climbing up the leg a little too much, just put that ball underneath your ankle more. All right, time to switch sides. Same thing to the other side. Once you feel good and set up, go ahead and begin. And 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, then we move into abs. Our dead bug. So as I said, this is a pretty advanced exercise, so just in case you need a little bit of a modification, especially if that low back is starting to lift or tighten on you, what you can do is just keep that ball resting on the knees, and you're still going to push that low back into the floor, but you might just focus on the arms. Okay, so that's our level 1. Level 2, full tabletop, and opposite arm and leg move away from the ball at the same time. Ready? Begin. Keep that low back pinned down because those abs are strong. I like to inhale, open out. Exhale, press into the ball. Inhale, open out. Exhale, press. We want to train these abs to be pulled down towards the spine, not bubbled up away from the spine. So continue to practice that and be able to breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We're back to our plank. So we're up in the intensity of our plank by using the ball. There's a couple modifications that you can use, of course. Push that ball up against something, or maybe you plank from your knees. 2, 1, we're on. So planking from your knees is really the concentration of maintaining a pelvic tuck. So really trying to squeeze those glutes and tuck them under and use those low abs to kind of help maintain that pelvic tuck. You should feel a deep contraction there in that lower half of the abs. And the further you push that ball away from you, the harder this becomes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Go ahead, take a breather. Yeah, child's pose might be a good idea right now. A lot of core work. So the reminder that I have about the core work is that yes, the abs will become fatigued. So that's kind of the whole point here, right? Is we're gaining strength and endurance for that core by exercising, right? By kind of like purposely throwing them into harder and harder work. But when they are fatigued, the wrong muscles start to turn on. So that's the sort of thing that we need to be paying attention to. So go into a child's pose if you're starting to feel like the low back is turning on instead of those abs doing their job. Totally fine to do that. All right, let's finish with our last round, single leg deadlift. We're adding that ball if you can, if it's a good fit. All right, and as soon as you're set up, begin. Feel how your foot is really working to grip to the ground. That's important. We want that exercise for the foot as well. That's working up the balance chain. Working all the toes, the arch of the foot, the ankle, the knee, and the hip. 2, 1, and switch. As soon as you're ready, begin. Looking good. Slow and controlled. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Back down for abs. So we've got 30 seconds here in our dead bug. This is level 2 with the legs up. Level 1 is with the feet down. It's okay to even move into level 1, maybe halfway through if needed. Push that low back into the floor. Ready, begin. Three, 2, 1, Nicely done. And we have 30 more seconds in core work. So we're back to our plank. I'll demonstrate this time with the ball up against something. And really what that just does is it creates a little bit more stability, but I also do recommend feet wide. That's going to help with stability too. Otherwise, go from the knees. In 2, 1, begin. Looking good. Strong pelvic tuck. That helps keep the work out of your low back because we want those abs in the front to know how to work, to know how to support your back properly. Strengthen that core. And overall, you are strengthening the back. We're giving that back a lot of great support. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice work. Let's take a breather. And then I have a fun little functional movement drill to do. We won't need the ball anymore or your hand weights. Okay, we're going to practice the skill of getting up and down from the floor. One of the most functional exercises that I know because it works everything. But I do have a couple little fun challenges to throw in there. So really, ultimately, just do your best. The idea is just be able to get up and down from the floor. That's going to look however you need to do it. I'll obviously demonstrate how I do it, but yours might look different than mine. So the very first thing we're going to do is just start from your stomach. So from your stomach, you're going to just get up from the floor to a full standing position and then back down to your stomach. All right, so let's do this together. Ready? All right, push yourself up. You might get to those knees. Come up from a lunge, stand all the way up. Nice. All right, then we're going to come back down. So you kind of just reverse the same thing that you just did. Get up is the way that you get back down. Perfect. Good. Now let's roll over onto your back. So now we need to stand up from our back. So this will look more like a sit-up, a lunge to stand up. All right, ready? Begin when you're ready here. We sit up. Get to a knee maybe. And come up. And then we'll just reverse right back down. So I want you to do what's called a negative sit-up, where you are literally reversing yourself back down using those abs. And you'll end up on your back. Good. Okay, now I'm going to get really specific. So when we get up and we go into a kneeling position, I want your left knee to come down. So I'm going to demonstrate really quick. We're here. My left knee is going to come down and up. And it's my left knee that's going to bring me back down and then all the way down to my back again. And the purpose of this is because if it's your less dominant side, that we're forcing it to know how to do this skill. All right, ready? Begin when you're ready. And focus on that left side, even if it feels super awkward, even if you have to kind of use your hands a lot. Whatever you got to do, I want you to know how to use that left side. Good. And now the right side. We'll sit up. Right knee comes down first. And it's our right knee that will bring us back down. Good. Hope that challenged the brain a little bit. Now we're gonna move into some other skills. So it doesn't matter what knee hits the ground, whatever, I want you just to get up and down from the floor without using your hands. That includes elbows too, okay? So it's just a challenge. See how far you can come along. If it's not totally possible, that's okay. But it's just nice to practice. You know, just that I have literally met people that have injured both of their elbows and had to figure out how to come back up from a fall. So it's just literally that, you know, can I do it? Can I challenge myself in case I ever, hopefully never, find yourself in this scenario? This is also really good practice if like you have to stand up and you're holding a baby or you're holding something and you can't use your hands. So it just builds that awareness, builds that strength and that functionality. That was good. Yeah. Good. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's practice, right? Okay, our very last challenge. Now we're going to get up without using our knees. Okay, so this one we actually should flip over onto our stomach. And I'm going to demonstrate one real quick. So I'm going to try to keep my knees off the ground the best I can. And I'm going to inchworm back, come up to standing, and I'll come back without letting my knees come down. Okay? All right, so that's our very last one. Just to keep it fun, let's try to keep those knees now off the ground. Start when you're ready. Good. And then all the way back down to your stomach to complete that movement. Awesome. And we are ready for our cool down. So get into a comfortable position. Maybe you still stay on your stomach. Maybe you roll to your back. And we're going to go into our restorative breathing practice. So this is where we get to take those nice, big, expansive inhales. We're breathing down into the diaphragm, oxygenating the brain and the muscles that we just used. And use that exhale as a trigger for relaxation. These muscles release. We're heavy on the floor. Into our gratitude practice. That was a minute in gratitude. Great job.